Hello there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone. It's me, GenuineParts, and we're back to Bionic Heart. We stopped in this epic monologue. It's actually dialogue, but she hasn't very much to. She doesn't say very much, Tanya. And so this D-bag of Lucas Walker just explains us why people were on Mars and what they intended to do and why we shouldn't pity him for being in this class. Well, that he didn't explain, but his actions make it very clear why we shouldn't do that. So, after 2 years, it had become obvious that Randall's plan had failed. If they returned to Earth, none of these ungrateful maggots would miss them. So they decided to never return. Yes, and make Mars a better place than Earth. They secretly approached those on Earth who could contribute to their new society and help them escape. Of course, just making them disappear could have aroused suspicion, so they helped them fake their death so they were no longer missed on Earth. And Mars did rise to greatness with that. We brought the best architects up so that they designed the city unlike any other. The best engineers to build it, the best fashion designers, the best musicians, the best scientists, the best and brightest that Earth had to offer, all joined us. No one on Earth cared, because every time someone died, someone lesser stepped up to fill his place. That's why you Earthlings have become accustomed to mediocrity. I can't spell this word, I'm terribly sorry. Maya is still mad that no one invited him to Mars, even though he found out about the colony there. But really, what does Mars have to gain from someone like him? The only interesting thing he has to offer is his behemoth device. The thing hasn't moved an inch since he built it. It makes it less than nothing. What is the behemoth device? Maya has bragged that it's some kind of huge war machine, a super large humanoid robot, powerful enough to replace an entire army. He said it's supposed to be controlled by a cybernetic link, but that's bullshit. Why that? There were tests with cybernetic vehicles in the 2060s. They all suffered from the same problem. The life support for the pilot is a huge weak point. A human who is fully cybernetically wired to a machine needs to be in a real life support machine, or his physical functions will collapse. The only way that would work was if you managed to take only the brain of the pilot and wire it into the body of the vehicle. But that... Maya says he has been able to do that, but that puny crook would say anything to get me cooperate with him. I don't believe a word of it. But Lucas, he is able to do that. He's been doing that with me. Yeah, you already claim to be a cyborg, but where's the proof? I don't know. Is there anything you'd accept as proof? No, nothing really comes to mind. But then how? That moment the door opens. I suppress a curse and quickly dive behind the table. Oh, more visitors? I thought the entire point was to get me bored enough to cooperate. Quite the contrary, Dr. Walker. I've been able to convince Mr. Maya that we've wasted enough time with you. Oh, so you're now finally going to kill me. No, not yet. You may be still useful later. We don't waste great minds. Heh, minds, I get it. So I'm going to disconnect you now, Dr. Walker. Lucas doesn't answer, but I can hear Mark doing something. He probably unplugged Lucas from the communications device. Can you hear me, Jason? Jason? Well, who? Ah, you can hear me. Hello. Who are you? Where I am? Where I am? Where am I? My name is Mark Krzysztofiak, and I'm the one who decoded your little device. Interesting technology, I must say. Where am I? Why is it so dark? Why can't I feel anything? Good question, boy, and I like to reflect a little on these questions. I'll return in an hour or so, and then we can talk. You haven't. Shit, you can't. You took my brain out. You did the same to me as to all the others. I'm just a brain in jar now. Very good, Jason, very good. And next time you're going to tell me about that interesting virus. Virus? The one whose DNA sequence I found in a little device. What? I don't know anything about virus. Of course, that's why you have all the data about it with you. Look, I have no idea how it got there. Maybe it was on my sister's computer. She's a biologist and I hacked her account for sport a few months ago. You have all the time in the world to tell me that later on. So long, Jason. No, don't leave me alone, please, please don't leave me alone. I can hear Mark strolling towards the door and leaving. Mr. Krzysztofiak, Mr. Krzysztofiak, come back, come back! Oh goodness, the poor boy. Jason? Well, who's... It's Tanya, calm down. Tanya, okay, thank God at least you are safe. No need to worry, I'm fine. All I need is a way to get out of here and kick my ass doing that. Any idea how I could accomplish that? Well, Jason is quiet for a few moments. He's probably thinking. Sorry, the only way I could help you was if I was able to connect to the security system, but... Yes? Am I really nothing but a brain? Nothing but a brain! I'm afraid so. Then that's out of the question. Without some sort of interface, I cannot hack computers. Any idea how I could get you out of here? That's the point of getting out of here. I don't have a body any longer. I could find your body just like mine, a cyborg body. Yeah, right, as though they are just lying around. He's right, the only cybernetic body out there is Julia's and mine, and I haven't got anything besides this body anyway. Jason? Yeah? Are there any other cybernetic bodies down here at Nanotech? Any other prototypes? I'm afraid not. I only found 2 that built, one for you and one for Julia Storm. Crap. Well, there's the Behemoth device. Looks like there's really no way to help Jason aside from giving him my own body, or Julia's, and I have no idea how I would take my own brain out. But wait, what about... Jason? Have you found any information on something called a Behemoth device? Behemoth device? Sure, that's the biggest robot Nanotech is hiding down here. Does it work? Well, in theory, yes. It has never been tested, though. Really? Why not? Because Maya doesn't trust anybody with its controls. That thing is apparently too dangerous even for a test run. And why doesn't he control it himself? Because it was built to be controlled with one of these disembodied brains he collects. So it's really as Maya told Lucas. In fact, from what I've read, he originally wanted you to pilot it. Me? Yeah, something about former serial killer not having any qualms about killing more people. So that's what he thinks about me. And you're saying the Behemoth device is down here? Yeah, in a huge construction hall, just next to the power generators and the air conditioning. The air conditioning? That means I can get there. How convenient. No, it isn't that interesting. I wonder what could happen if I took a certain brain with me to the Behemoth device and plugged it in. I'm sure that would convince Lucas I'm on his side. Jason would have a body again, and even a big one. That's a tough choice. Let's save. I'd like to give Jason a body. And Lucas is a D-bag. Let's give it to Jason. Thank you a lot, Jason. That has been very interesting. Yeah, whatever. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to disconnect you right now. What? Oh, he sounded alarmed. Don't worry, if I understand the thing works with brains, right? You'll fall asleep as soon as I disconnect you. Nothing will happen to you. You sure? I slept through 100 years in that state without even noticing. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay. Good night, then. Carefully unplug Jason's brain from the console it's in. Must be a magnetic lock. It takes a bit of strength to disconnect it. Back to the air conditioning it is. Off to the Behemoth device. And then we'll see how well it works with a pilot like this. Okay, you noticed the cut, and it's pretty much dark now. That's because I thought when I was recording this episode that it was long enough, but it wasn't. So it's dark now outside, and I'm dressed differently because it's a week has passed pretty much. So I'm recording this to give it the proper length. I'm sorry about that. Also, the lighting is suboptimal. I'm sorry. I will work on it. I promise. Okay, this was easier than I thought. At first, I was worried whether the terminal would be any help to find out what Luke has been planning, and my worries were pretty much confirmed. There were no entries in there Luke had made. There were no entries in there Luke had made. No personal logs, nothing he added himself in the last few days. Nothing that would give me any idea where he would go was in there. I was about to give up. I was just about to turn off the terminal and go sulk in a corner, and then I saw it. Another function of the terminal. Citizen Locator. This terminal is actually able to find out where any Mars resident is at any time, unless he's explicitly turned off that function. Yes, Luke had fought to turn off that function, but this was his terminal, or rather Lucas Walker's, I was working from, so I could just turn it back on. Walker Lucas, current location, Hippocrates Research Center, Tract XI, Biological Laboratory 16. So that's where he was, doing something at that research center. Question time! How are people located? Your guess is as good as mine. Leave it in the comments. I am absolutely curious what you come up with, because, you know, they aren't who they claim they are, so... Huh? Also, I just noticed something when I edited together last episode. That whole sub-story with Mars has just now touched the main story on Earth. Because Jason's sister is that woman, I guess. So far, this whole sub-story had no impact whatsoever, aside from drag out the game. And that's horrible, horrible game design. It's not even that interesting, and if, you know, they will pull something off like, this will be important at the very last bit, then it will all come into play. And it is horrible. Don't write games. You know what? Bionic Heart was an okayish game. It was more ridiculous with its voice acting and the subpar writing. But you know, Bionic Heart 2 takes the cake. If I'm completely honest. The whole writing is just so... The graphic style has completely changed, for better or for worse. I'm not to judge, because it's still better what I could ever do. Any one of those. I cannot draw for anything in my life. But, you know, they have completely changed the graphic and the art direction. The characters look different, and so far, aside from Tanya, the only and Susan, I guess. But, you know, the main characters of the last game are on Mars, and their story had nothing to do with what's happening on Earth right now. It's just busy work. That's horrible writing. Please don't make Bionic Heart free. I will pay you gladly the price of a Bionic Heart a year. Just so no more Bionic Heart comes out. Please. And from what I was suspecting, it couldn't have been anything good. Sorry for the rant, but... Well then, I better hurry. No wait, Helen. I should maybe tell Helen that I'm... No, that's not a good idea. You know, inner monologues are nice. Don't do it them in games. No, about... I shouldn't involve her in this. Depending on what Luke's up to, this could get dangerous. The thing is, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't always do this. It delivers a whole lot of sudden exposure, like the giant behemoth thing project. You could, you know, it was just clear, you take the brain and put him in there. And that was exposed like 5 minutes prior to that. So that was not... And suddenly he has talks amongst himself in his mind, an inner monologue, giving no exposure. Be consistent, please. And I can't bring Helen into danger. I can't. Because I love her. What a plot twist. No, I've got to do this alone. I quickly order a hovercab through the terminal, then sneak out of the flat as quickly and as quietly as I can. Just out the building, the cab should be waiting outside. Yes, there it is. If we only could see those great stories that are told to us. I know, this is a horrible thing to say, but I hope they all die. Not the developers, but the characters. I hope at the end of this game everyone is dead. Everyone. Like, Hamlet. Hamlet dead. Like that. There's no Hamlet 2. I mean, there is technically a Hamlet 2. Don't get me started. But, that would be great. Hippocrates Research Center. How did we figure out you want to go there? And the cab zips off with me aboard. Well, thank God you were on board. ... Pretty much everything on Mars is really, really huge. But even on that scale, Hippocrates Research sticks out quite a bit. It's so monumental. Down on Earth, no one would even believe that something like this can exist. And if it did exist, boy, people would call it names. Anyway, this place is really, really large. I hope there's a floor plan or something like that. Probably a terminal. A terminal, any terminal. Damn. Everything here looks nice and luxurious, but not in the least bit practical. Where are they hiding these things? May I beg your pardon, sir? You appear to be lost. Huh? Not at all. Better not stick out too much if this is some kind of guard. Your biometric data does not match up with any person that had ever entered this facility. May I presume you are new to the Hippocrates Research Center as a robot? I'm sorry. I can't really lie here. This robot has already checked my biometric data. Yes, that is correct. May I give you a guided tour of the facilities? The Hippocrates Research Center has many interesting aspects for interesting citizens. That doesn't sound like something a guard would say. So you're a robot guide? My function is to serve as an aid for visitors and users of the facility alike. There are 200 units of my specifications within this center. Impressive. So may I give you a guided tour of our facilities? The Hippocrates Research Center has many interesting... Well, could you give me... Could you guide me to a specific location? Of course, sir. Please specify the location in question. I'm looking for Biological Laboratory 16, Track XI. Please follow me, sir. Well, now that was easy. The robot leads me quite a long way through the grounds of the facility. It is really impressive. So many buildings and so high. And yet so few people around here. After almost 10 minutes of walking, we enter a building of the far side of the complex and take an elevator up. Could you not, he looks strong. And you look frail. Is he just short? Or is he kneeling? I don't know. But you could probably ask him if he, takes you on his shoulders and carries you there. Laboratory 16 is on the 7th floor of Tract XI. Ah, good. So it won't be long now. I only hope Luke is still there and hasn't wandered off. And if he has, maybe I can at least find out what he has been doing in here. 7th floor. You have reached your destination. Thanks. The doors open and I step outside. Directly into what appears to be the laboratory I've been looking for. I've been looking for freedom. The elevator leads right into the laboratory. That sounds strangely efficient. But this place is so big once again, and there doesn't seem to be anyone here. Where could Luke... What are you doing here, Tom? Where? Behind me, feeling sneaky or what? Sheesh, don't startle me like that. I was looking for you. Well, you found me, and what are you planning to do now? Actually, that's exactly the question I was going to ask you. What am I doing here? Yeah, just that. None of your business. Whoa, he's in a bad mood. And I'm too, so no matter how long I've been around recording for, and if this makes a full episode, I kinda have enough for one day. Bionic Heart is really best enjoyed in small doses, so thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye!